A couple weeks ago, we went over Hunter Biden's shady, dirty business dealings overseas. We covered that he is, in fact, in the board of Burisma, and Burisma is going through some sketchy dealings in itself, and that a Ukrainian official actually has documents and proof that Hunter Biden is taking money from Burisma to fund his own family ordeals. We also mentioned how Hunter Biden took $3.5 million from the former mayor of Moscow's wife, and that the money is linked to sex trafficking and human trafficking rings. Hunter Biden's treading on really shallow water right now, but this week, even more corroborating evidence has come out. Hunter Biden apparently left a laptop in a Delaware technology repair shop. And because he failed to come back and pick it up, by Delaware law, that laptop is now the shop owner's. So the shop owner went through it, and he reported his findings to the FBI. In that computer's hard drive were emails sent to and by Hunter Biden, some of them explaining the business dealings that he had with Burisma. Some of them with surprising photos and videos. Photos like Hunter Biden with a meth pipe in his mouth. There's an email sent by Vadim Pozowski, one of the heads of the board of Burisma, thanking Hunter Biden for the opportunity to meet his father. There are also multiple emails mentioning the guy, or the big guy, most likely referring to Joe Biden. There's an email talking about particular shares that members of the board would be getting for a certain business deal. In that were 4 signatures, where 20% would go to H, most likely Hunter Biden, and 10 withheld by H for the big guy. Meaning that if the big guy is Joe Biden, then Joe Biden is benefiting from Hunter Biden's shady business deals with Burisma. Joe Biden has said multiple times that he has nothing to do with Hunter Biden's business dealings overseas, and that he's not gaining any financial help from China or Russia or anyone overseas. He's explained multiple times that he knows nothing about his son's business dealings.
I want to get to the heart of it. Did you and your father ever discuss Ukraine?
No. As I said, the only time was after a news account, and it wasn't a discussion in any way. There's no but to this. No, we never did.
Your dad said, I hope you know what you're doing.
I hope you know what you're doing.
I do?
And I said, I do. And that was literally the end of our discussion.
But these emails show us that he has met with someone from the board of Burisma, and he is getting money from Hunter Biden's business dealings. So Joe Biden is flat out lying to the American people. Many people are saying that this is fake, this is purely political, this is fabricated, just so that the Trump administration has an edge in politics. Steve Bannon, former chief strategist to Donald Trump, has shared in an interview that he knows this laptop is real because Hunter Biden and people from the Biden administration has shown interest in retrieving that laptop, asking for the hard drive back. If it was fake, they wouldn't bother calling. Plus, they're asking for it back, meaning at the very least it does belong to someone in the Biden administration, and definitely involves Hunter Biden.
We've even seen that some Republicans have come out to question what they say is the unlikeliness of the repairman story, that Hunter Biden forgot to pick his laptops up from a repairman, and they say that the timing of this is all too convenient with Biden so far ahead in the polls. What's your response to this? Did you have early concerns about the fact that Hunter Biden might have forgotten to pick up water-damaged laptops from a repairman, and how did you satisfy yourself that this was what happened?
Here's how I satisfy myself. His lawyer, Mesries from Chicago, one of the top lawyers in the country, emailed us and said, and we had the email. He called the repair shop. He sent us an email, or he sent the repair shop an email that he sent us right away saying, I got to get Hunter's, Hunter dropped these off. At the same day he talked about, he forgot to pick them up. I got to get them right away. What have you done with them? Right? That's an email. And a phone conversation he had at the repair shop.
There's so much corroborating evidence that shows that the Biden family is entangled in this corruption. There's no denying it. A couple years ago, Joe Biden threatened to withhold $1 billion unless Ukraine fires his top prosecutor. That prosecutor, during that time, was investigating Burisma.
I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
Joe Biden used his political leverage to withhold $1 billion so that Burisma wouldn't be investigated, and by extent his son wouldn't be found out. This is top level corruption. And what's more is he bragged about getting that prosecutor fired. How is nobody catching on to this? Why is no one talking about this? Well, there's a reason why. This story is being heavily censored and silenced within social media. This story was first covered exclusively by the New York Post. Soon after reporting on this issue, the New York Post's Facebook account was banned, and Facebook said the New York Post won't be unbanned unless they remove that article. Facebook has also been removing many posts against Joe Biden, including over 200 of Donald Trump's campaign ads.
Twitter quickly followed suit by locking the New York Post's entire Twitter account. One of the biggest newspapers in the world banned from Twitter. Twitter then prevented its users from sharing the New York Post story, both privately and publicly. Those who tried to share it got this message, quote, "Your tweet couldn't be sent because this link has been identified by Twitter or our partners as being potentially harmful."
This week, Twitter and Facebook under fire over decisions concerning the publication of a story by the New York Post. The newspaper published an exclusive based on emails and photos allegedly obtained from a laptop belonging to the son of Democratic candidate Joe Biden. The story focused on Hunter Biden's ties to a Ukrainian energy company. The Post claims that Joe Biden met with an advisor of the company. Within hours, Facebook announced it was slowing the spread of the article, and Twitter blocked its users from posting links to the story, deeming it potentially unsafe, saying the material violated its rules on sharing information obtained through hacking. Now, Twitter has since backtracked. Instead of blocking links from being shared, the tweets are now being labeled to provide context.
This high-level corruption is not being spoken about or touched by the American people because they don't even hear about this. Major news networks aren't reporting on this even though it's a huge story that needs to be reported. And media outlets aren't allowing people to post these, removing the post as soon as it goes up. This extreme bias within media needs to stop. People need to wake up and realize what's happening. We can't just ignore what's happening. We can't remain blissfully ignorant to the corruption that's happening in America. The American people need to know about this. They're trying to get this scumbag vice president elected, knowing full well what he's done. They don't give a shit. And people who know about this censoring and know about this corruption, but shrug it off anyways because they don't like Donald Trump, they're just as bad. The New York Post was founded by Alexander Hamilton. If people these days are going to keep holding Alexander Hamilton in such high regard, then why are they fine with Facebook banning the New York Post? Reports say that the FBI got this information and got this hard drive in late 2019. Why were they sitting on this for almost a year? This information could have stopped the impeachment. Why were they holding on to it? There's corruption high up in the FBI. Do you realize that the FBI and the media are fine with silencing the American people in order to get this shitty person elected? They're trying to steal America and hand it over to this puppet. So that whoever the puppet master is, whether it be China or the deep state, they have control over this puppet. They have control over the driver's wheel. You're fine with relinquishing America to whoever's behind Joe Biden? You're going to sell out America for some quick cash? For social status? For some good boy head patch from your social group? We have real evidence of corruption. Not some made up bullshit like the impeachment. Some actual hard evidence. And the media is trying their hardest to make sure that the American people don't hear about it. If this was Donald Trump and he had a hard drive with that type of information, they wouldn't wait a second to go public with it. Trump's illegally obtained tax returns, oh yeah, they're fine with going public with that. But this hard drive that has hard evidence of corruption from the Biden family, oh yeah, hold on to that for a year. And when it's posted, make sure the media doesn't cover it. According to Glenn Beck, some of Hunter Biden's former co-workers got arrested, and now they're giving out information. Because if they're going to be arrested, then they're fed up with Hunter Biden not being caught as well. And they're angry that he's getting away with the same misdeeds that they just got arrested for.
You're just looking at the Biden scandals, one after another, that no one wants to report on. Now, conservative media is reporting on it, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of things coming out over the next few days from not only the laptop that was given to the FBI and Rudy Giuliani and the New York Post, but also Peter Schweitzer has a new story out today, an exclusive, that Hunter Biden's business partner has flipped on him. He is in prison. And it looks like Devon Archer, the other partner of Hunter Biden, is also going to prison. He's waiting for his sentence. And Hunter Biden is getting off scot-free. And they're pissed. and he provided 26,000 emails and is verifying now that the stuff on that hard drive is real.
Even corrupt people think Hunter Biden should be behind bars. America needs to wake up. The divine principle says, everything in the universe is created to be governed by God through love. Thus, love is the source of life, the key to happiness, and the essence of ideal to which all beings aspire. The more one receives love, the more beautiful one appears to others. When an angel, created as God's servant, beheld Eve, the daughter of God, it was only natural that she looked beautiful in his eyes. Moreover, when Lucifer saw that Eve was responding to the temptation, the angel felt the simulation of her love to be deliciously enticing. At this point, Lucifer was seducing Eve with the mind to have her regardless of the consequences. After having give and take with the archangel, Eve started to develop feelings for the archangels. And through more and more give and take action, they developed a romantic relationship. Wisdom teaches us that give and take deepens a relationship, even if that relationship is abusive. Give and take will cause whatever we're spending time with to look more and more desirable, even to the point where we lie to ourselves about that thing or about that someone, and start to view them in a different regard. The same way alcoholics have their first drink and start to love and enjoy the feeling of getting drunk. So they drink more and more until the point where they lie to themselves about not being addicted, or they lie to themselves that their drinking habits aren't unhealthy. And even the ones who do realize that their alcoholism is detrimental to them, they're unable to stop. Which is why many alcoholics tell their kids never to have that first drink, never to engage in that first give and take action. In the same way, you start to develop relationships and feelings towards the Democratic Party. Here are some things that you might love about the Democratic Party through give and take. You might love the social groups that being a Democrat brings. The affirmation. You and your group will affirm the way each other thinks, even though there are smarter, better thought processes out there. Through excessive give and take, you start to live in their delusion. Any normal person will acknowledge the fact that Joe Biden and his family are super corrupt, and he shouldn't be even considered as president. But through excessive give and take through the Democratic Party, you and your group just don't care at that point. You're surrounded by people who hate Donald Trump to the point where they don't even care who they're electing, and you're fine with that. There's one way to stop give and take action with an unhealthy partner. Stop the deepening of a relationship that won't get you anywhere and will cause you to live in a delusion. Just don't indulge in the give and take. If Eve were to ignore the archangel, then she would have never developed romantic feelings for him. If she ignored him and listened to God, then we wouldn't be in this giant mess. If alcoholics walk away from alcohol before they get addicted, they would be in a better lifestyle. And if Democrats leave their social group or their party before they become deluded, then maybe they could think like normal people. What I'm getting at is stop indulging in this give and take. Just walk away. Leave the Democratic Party. What are the benefits that you're receiving by staying with them anyways? You're just becoming delusional. Just do yourself a favor and leave. Cease give and take with this abusive, delusional, corruptive political party. Because if you're fine with being in a group who supports corrupted officials and will hide their wrongdoings, look the other way, trap thousands and millions of people in a delusion, then you're better off just leaving.